In Onshape, we're going to continue creating parts in this part studio. In 3 previous videos, I created the impeller housing and the flange that goes on the face of the housing. In this video, we are going to create the impeller itself. And first, let's do a little bit of housekeeping. I originally called this part studio the impeller housing because I didn't realize I was going to create more parts. So let's right click on the tab and rename it. These are going to be the blower components. So let me rename it so I know what it's for. It's not just one housing. And let's see, for what I'm doing in this video, I don't need to see the flange, so I'm going to hide it to make things easier for me to see. And for what I'm doing initially, I'm going to make this impeller. I'm going to start with the component that goes through here, or the features that go through there. So let me turn on some planes that I need. I'm going to need front and right. That is good. And also, I am going to change the visibility of different things. I need to be able to see inside the housing as I'm working. So I will right click and make it transparent. And I also need to see some of the different hidden edges. I'm going to need to see the inside face of the back wall. Let's go to our camera and render options dropdown, and let's change hidden edges removed to hidden edges visible. Okay, that is good. And I want to start with my first feature, sketching on the plane called top. So I will select it, right mouse click and hold, and here is the new sketch command. Then let's right mouse click and hold and view normal to the sketch plane. And so with this visibility, what's important is the back wall over here. I need to make sure that there's a little bit of separation between sort of like the face of the impeller over here and this wall. So that's why I have the hidden edges visible. Let's see, what else do I need? Might help if I see the origin. Did I hide the origin previously at some point? Let's show the origin. And I am going to start off with a revolve feature. So let's create our axis of revolution. I will go to construction mode, and then let's create a line. I'm going to hover my mouse over the origin just so I can lock into it. And let's make our vertical line. Make it nice and long, and then hit the escape key to get out of creating that entity. And now I'm going to make essentially an L shape for how it's going to be in through here. So let's go to, let's go to the line tool, and I'm going to start my L. Let's make it like here and make it vertical. And then I'm going to go out a little distance and then in. And then up through here. I made it way off from where it should be, but that's okay. And then to get it to lock into the other line, I'm going to hover over the mouse just so that I can sense that, hey, I want to be the same, sort of like coincident or horizontal with the original endpoint. So that is good. I've got my L shape. Now let's start dimensioning this. And let's see. Let's do the hard dimension first. So I want this to be some distance from this entity. And in this case, in order to dimension to it, let me hit the escape key to get out of line creation mode. I actually no longer want this to be transparent. Let's turn the transparency off so that I can actually dimension to entities. Let's go to dimension, and I want this line to be dimensioned from the inside face. Let's left click, and this is going to be a dimension of 5, very small, just a little bit of offset between there. Wow, it kind of like shrunk everything too much. Let me see if I can undo that, and I'm just going to leave that dimension as is, and I'll change it at the end. Let's create our other different dimensions. So let's go to the dimension command, and let's see, we know that the length of this line is going to be a height of 95. And let's see, the inside diameter through here, this is going to be a value of 25. So I'll select the line and then my center line. And by positioning it over here, I'm going to get the diameter dimension for when it's revolved. Let's change that to 25. And then the distance from here, again, we want a diameter dimension. This is going to be a value of 80. And let's see, we also want the distance from here to here, the diameter dimension that is. And this diameter is going to be a value of 320. And let's see, what am I missing? Oh, we need the actual thickness of this part here. Let's go to this one. Am I in dimension mode? Dimension of this, there we go. And this is going to be a value of 25. Okay, now everything is black. Let me hit the escape key. Now I can change this and I won't have everything getting way too small. All right, so those are all the different dimensions that we want in this sketch. While we're here, let's rename this because, again, it's going to get very confusing if I just leave everything with sketch this, extrude that, whatever. Let's call this the Impeller base sketch. And hit the check mark. And let's rotate our model. Let's then change our display. We no longer need to see those hidden edges. So let's unclutter the screen. And let's also change this housing back to being transparent. And let's create our first revolve. Click on the revolve tool and pick our face. And then let's click in the field for the revolve axis and pick our center line. And right now I want to add material. I'm a little confused. We don't want to add material. We want to create a brand new part. So this is starting to look good. Let me edit the name of the feature. Let me call this my Impeller base revolve. And hit the enter key. That's good. Let's hit the check mark. So now we can see the beginning of the feature. The end here needs a keyway to fit onto the end of a crankshaft that I created in another video. So let's create that. Let's go to the sketch tool and pick this face. I always like to view normal to the sketch plane. And let's see, we're going to have a circle. And it's going to be centered right on our origin here. And let's drag it out. And this is going to be a diameter of 45. And in order for it to have a key, let's put in a horizontal line. Let me hit the escape key. I always like to position my dimensions where I want them to be. Let's see, let's create a horizontal line and go from back here, across over to there. Hit the escape key, and we are going to dimension this from that plane that we made visible. And this dimension is going to be a value of 15. Almost got it exactly. And this is good for our key sketch. Being very careful with renaming my features in this one. Key sketch. Hopefully I didn't use that name before. Let's hit the check mark. And let's reorient the model. Now we are going to create a cut using an extrude. Let's go to extrude. Let's pick this face. And we are going to flip the direction. And all of a sudden it's like, whoa, Boolean resulted, no geometry change. Let's change this to a revolve. And the depth is going to be a value of 60. And once again, let's edit the name. Let's call this the key cut extrude. I like my models to be user friendly. Okay, so that is good. And let's see, at this point, do I need anything else from the impeller housing? I don't think so. I'm gonna make things really easy on me, and I can actually close the make transparent dialog box. And so for this one, we're gonna do something interesting. We are going to create our blade for the impeller by starting off with a mate connector for a sketch plane offset from here. So let's go to the mate connector command. I'm going to snap it in right there. And now we're going to move it. Let's click in the box for move. and we want to translate along Z, and this is going to be a distance of 200. This is just because for our design intent, we want to explicitly control the distance offset from the surface and have that control things. So I've got my mate connector. That is good. Let me select the mate connector, and then I can hold down the right mouse button and create a new sketch. And let's right mouse click and hold and view normal to the sketch plane. And what will help with this is just going out of shading with edges. So let's go to our camera and render options drop down, and then change from shaded with edges to, let's go unshaded. All right, and so we're just going to sketch 2 lines because we're going to use a different technique, or excuse me, a line and an arc. So we're going to use a different technique for creating our extrude. Let's do a center point arc, and the center will be right here, and we'll go out horizontally. I'm making it offset because I'm going to make it coincident in a moment. So let's go out over here some distance. I'm going to hit the escape key. I'm not going to change the radius dimension. Let's then go to coincident so that we can put this right on here. There we go. And we also want to have a horizontal line. So let's make this line out a distance. And let's change the distance to 65 and hit the escape key. And so this is going to be everything in our sketch, but we're going to dimension the arc length of the arc. And so let's go to the dimension tool. And the way that you get the arc length dimension is it's going to be 3 picks. You'll pick one endpoint, the other endpoint, and right now we're just getting a distance dimension. But if we pick the arc itself, you can see with that little, well, it looks like an arc, that little arc over the dimension, that is the arc length. And so let's left click and give our value of 60. And this is everything that we need in our sketch. And let me call this the blade sketch. Hit the check mark and let's rotate our model. I can get out of the unshaded mode. Let's go back to shading with edges. We're going to extrude this sketch. Let's go to extrude, and for our sketch, I'm just going to select, let's see if I can pick sketch regions. Let's change to the thin option. Maybe that'll help. Okay, there we go. Now I can pick the 2 entities. And right now it's giving me a thickness of 5. Let's change to a value of 7.5. And it's going to the inside. We're not going to have a thickness go to the outside. Let's flip the direction. And let's change the depth from a blind depth to up to face. And pick this face. And it automatically changed the extrude to an add. That's exactly what we wanted. And everything looks good. Let me call this the blade extrude. And hit the check mark. And let's see, the next thing, we're going to throw a fillet on the one of the edges there. Let's go to the fillet command and then pick this small edge here. We don't want people cutting themselves, and we're going to make this a value of 12.5. And hit the check mark. So that's good. And let's see. And I don't need these planes anymore. I want to unclutter the screen. Let's turn off the display of those 2 planes. We're going to create another sketch on our mate connector. So I'll click the mate connector, right mouse click and hold, and new sketch. And I'm not actually going to view normal to the sketch right up front because I want to pick an edge to project, but I want to make sure I'm picking the right edge. Let's go to the use project command. And the problem is if you pick this front edge, you're not going to get all the way around the circle. So I'm going to pick the back edge so I get the entire loop. And we know that we got the entire loop because it is shaded. Now I can go to view normal to the sketch plane. And we're going to create one more circle. I'll use center point circle, centered right there. And we're going to drag it out to about 240. 240. Hit the enter key. And so that is good. And so I'm going to Let's just hit the check mark. I can't think of a name to call this. And now let's create an extrude. We're just going to pick this face, that small region. And let's see, right now it's going in the wrong direction. Let's flip the direction. That changed it to an add. It's using a thickness of 5. We actually want this to be 7.5. And yes, it is adding material, and let me see. I think that's good. Let's hit the check mark. Okay, something went wrong there. I thought something was going wrong. Oh, you know what? I forgot to change this from being a thin sketch. Let's edit the extrude. Don't forget that. Change out of thin to solid. And let's see, for the face, we have to reselect it. There we go. And change this depth to 7.5. Yep, don't forget to change out of thin. That is very important. I thought something looked weird. Let's hit the extrude key, and that is good. And now we need to pattern our blade. So let's go to the pattern tool. Let's go to, if you see linear pattern, go to circular pattern. And we're not going to pattern the part, we're going to pattern features. So we need to change that first. For the features that we want to pattern, it's going to be the blade and the fillet. And for the axis of the pattern, let's click in that field, and I'm going to pick my mate connector. And it's okay that it turns red. Just click the reapply features button, and we're going to have a total of 6 over 360 degrees. Let's hit the check mark for that. And so I think we have everything that we need for our impeller. Let's hide our mate connector because we no longer need it. Let's hide our origin because we don't need that anymore. And let's bring back our hidden components, the impeller housing and the flange. Oops, I think I did something wrong. I can tell because I'm getting that sort of like stifling between these things. Okay, let's see if I can figure things out. Let's see, let's hide the flange. Okay, I figured out the dimension that I made incorrect. So let's see if we can fix it. Let's hide the impeller housing. Let's hide the blower flange. Let's go way back to the first sketch that I made in this video, the impeller base sketch. Let me right click and edit. And let's see, it's this dimension here that I made 25. This should have been 12.5. So let's plug in the new value and then hit the check mark. And everything else updated. Let's show our different entry. Yep, now everything is good. All right, yep. See how one little incorrect dimension can make everything look wrong, but figured it out. Let's see, let's go back and hide the mate connector. Let's rename this part. I'm going to right click and choose rename, and we are going to call it the impeller. And one last thing to make sure that everything is good, let's go to the camera and render options dropdown. We're going to create a section view. And for the section plane, let's use the plane called right. And let's see if we can flip it. There we go. And that way we can take a look in here and make sure that we don't have any interference. And when you are happy with that, you've confirmed that everything is good, not running into each other. Let's create the section view so we can reference it later on, and then go to the camera and render options, turn off the section view. So there we have it. These are the 3 components that we need for the blower assembly, and then in another video we'll create the actual assembly and then the frame it's going to sit on.